Brandon Jennings. Now, troubled basketball player Brandon Jennings, as I like to call him, because he has never recovered from that 55-point game that he had in Milwaukee all those years ago in his rookie season. He went on Twitter and claimed that Chris Brown is more talented than Michael Jackson. The Michael Jackson. Now, it followed in a series of tweets that I will read verbatim for the audience listening at home, and as well for you, Megan. And I quote, I need y'all attention right now, because this is my opinion. I believe Chris Brown is way more talented than Michael Jackson. Pardon me, he said way more talented. Never mind what I said. Anyways, only thing stopped that was stuff outside of music. He is grammatically handicapped. The quote goes on. Chris Brown talent is scary, man. Chris Brown danced way better than Michael. Bet on that. Ooh. Think about this, Chris Brown. If the drama outside of music didn't happen, he would be the biggest star out right now. I don't even know Chris. Talent-wise, though, sheesh. Y'all missing what I'm saying. You too, Chris Brown dancing. He can do any dance move. And get on any track. He should be the pop king. I have a lot to say about this, but Megan, I'm going to give you the floor on this just to break the ice, so to speak. What is your take on these nonsensical, grammatical, errorly challenged tweets that he brought out?
Wow. You need a dictionary.
True. Maybe
Maybe go back to school.
True. He didn't even go to school, actually.
And that's just, well, go back to high school maybe. That's just what he tweeted. And I get on Twitter, you only got 140 characters, but...
Make it count.
Exactly. Maybe make it so that people can actually understand what you're saying and not have to look up a dictionary to find out what you're saying.
Right.
But as far as the actual comments, as a Michael Jackson fan...
Say it. Say it.
I got nothing. Like, do you know who you're talking about? Like, Michael Jackson and Chris Brown. Don't get me wrong. Chris Brown is crazy talented. Mm-hmm. The kid can dance. But his outside stuff has nothing to do with the fact that you're going to be, that you're not going to be better than Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. Michael Jackson had his own outside stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's like
which is 10 times worse
than what you did to Rihanna. Like, don't get me wrong.
That was pretty bad.
But that's bad. I'm not condoning it at all. But when you like put it in like, and you know, like, let's use justice. The justice scale. Pretty sure how it's tilted, one side's higher than the other because it's Michael Jackson and Chris Brown. Yeah. Like, dude was accused of inappropriate beings with children almost every
on multiple
year.
Accounts.
You beat a girl once. That has nothing to do with you being the king of pop.
It does not.
Like, no. Like, Brandon Jennings, don't get me wrong, dude can play ball. But he does not know talent when it comes to nothing but basketball.
Clearly. Now, let me...
And that's me being polite on my reaction.
Right. Now, allow me to be the bad cop in this.
First of all I have to say about the tweets are this. Had to sip some tea for that one real quick. Secondly,
I got you.
Thank you. I'll play that back one more time, actually, just for you.
There you go. Sip that bad boy. There you go. How that tastes?
Like peppermint.
There you go. Now, what I have to say about is this. Brandon Jennings, are you on crack? Are you on the alleged coke that Rihanna was sniffing at Coachella? Do you have a bad taste in your mouth that Drake experienced when he got that lip locker from Madonna? Are you insane?
Now, don't get me wrong. Like my friend Megan said, Chris Brown is crazy talented. He can dance. He can sing. He's more or less a good writer. We don't know how much of songs he writes, but more or less we can depend on the fact that he does write something nonetheless. Tons of charisma, tons of appeal beyond hip-hop. He is pop culture. But to say that this guy is way more talented than Michael, you have to... This man was the standout member of the Jackson 5 when he was the youngest member of that squad.
There would be no Jackson 5 if it wasn't.
Exactly. It's definitely not going to be Jermaine with his greasy head top. Look like he just came out of Popeyes.
It's not going to be Janet who got an iron on her back on the episode of Good Times.
It's not going to be LaToya with her non-talent having ass, and it's definitely not going to be Tito, whom we thought was Mexican when we first heard of his name. Jackson made a name for himself off of Motown 25 when he first did the moonwalk. That is when he catapulted to the stratosphere. Not to mention, he had Rock With You back then. He had multiple hits with Quincy Jones. He did Thriller, for God's sake. Thriller! He did Thriller! He had arguably the most iconic music video of all time when that dropped in 1984. Off the Wall was an amazing record. Even when he had the whole vitiligo thing going on, he was still able to maintain his fan base. He had some questionable plastic surgery, some questionable cases with some kids and what have you. We'll brush this to the side because that has nothing to do with talent. Every album this man put out was a banger. It was classic. It was widely received, and the emotion that he was able to invoke from the audience, it's nothing like we've ever seen before from anyone of any genre. Never mind Elvis, never mind Madonna, never mind Jay-Z, never mind Tupac, never mind Yo-Yo Ma, never mind anybody. The amount of them, I have seen grown men cry. Women I can understand because women are more in tune with their emotions. I get that. But men, big burly men just crying, trying to reach out to MJ himself, just crying. That right there is an intangible. That right there alone catapults him higher than anyone. And it's going to be a very, very, very long time before anyone can reach that. I will say this though, in regards to Chris Brown. There was a point in time where he could have been the standard bearer for R&B music. Had that outside situation not happened, and he would have been more well received by the public, he wouldn't have been blackballed. He may have had a Grammy under his belt by now, maybe 10, 20, who knows? And maybe, just maybe, R&B wouldn't have turned into this tuggy-tug, ratchet, and soul affair that has all these R&B singers acting like thugs, pretending to be rappers, and wanting to serenade and profess their loves to strippers. So, Brandon Jennings, what you need to do is you need to focus on rehabbing that knee that you tore in the middle of the season. You need to focus on making the Detroit Pistons relevant again because they haven't been relevant since the 2000s era. And also, you need to focus on getting the contract you deserve rather than the one that you demanded, like the one that you demanded from Milwaukee as opposed to being a max player. Because you are far from a max player. Your attitude is at max, but your play is at minimum at best. So please keep your thoughts to yourself and please keep your tweets monetized because you have no filter and that is something that you are surely lacking.